Hello guys, and today we'll be having a performance test on the new ASUS ROG Zephyrus Duo 15. So before starting this video, I would like to say a huge thank you to Intel and ASUS for sponsoring this video and providing me with a laptop to test out and review. I honestly appreciate this so much, and it was really nice of them to do this. So with that said, let's get right into the video. So the ASUS ROG Zephyrus Duo 15 is a gaming laptop from ASUS based on the 10th gen Intel i7 and i9 processors, and it is a really high-end machine. The main attraction for this laptop, as you can see, is the second screen on the laptop, which isn't anything like I've tested before, and it comes up at an angle when you open the laptop up to make it easier to view it. This happens whenever you open up the laptop, and it looks and feels extremely nice and feels seamless. I'll talk more about the display and the build quality in the actual main review of the laptop, which will be coming shortly. But going on to the main topic of this video, in the performance, the ASUS ROG Zephyrus Duo 15 also comes with some absolutely insane specs with an Intel Core i7-10875H CPU, 32GB of RAM, a 1TB SSD, and the NVIDIA Geforce RTX 2070 Supermax Q. These are top of the top specs, and there are only a few laptops where you'll see better specs than this, and just by looking at the specs alone, you can tell that this performs extremely well. In this video, I'll be showcasing and testing the performance in a few games such as Cyberpunk 2077, Fortnite, and Valorant. But before I show you guys the gaming performance of this laptop, I'll show you guys the benchmark scores of it in benchmarks such as Cinebench and Geekbench, just to give you an idea of how well it stacks up just from benchmarks. So in Cinebench, it performed great in multi-core with a score of 7939, ranking at 7th on Cinebench itself and being in the top class of laptop CPUs. In single core performance as well, it is quite good with a score of 1069 and comes in at 6th in Cinebench. This is around what you'd expect the score to be in single threaded if you know the multi-core score, as this is a 8-core CPU. So overall, very impressive in Cinebench. On Geekbench, with a CPU benchmark, we see a single threaded score of 1139 and a multi-threaded score of 7753. This is excellent and shows that the CPU isn't getting bottlenecked. On the graphics benchmark with the CUDA API, we can see a score of 95,589, which is amazing for a laptop. In terms of video editing, this is also a beast to edit on, and when editing a video on Premiere Pro with multiple cuts and clips of around 5 minutes, and after rendering it at 1080p 60fps, it took around 1 minute and 15 seconds to export. Even other than pure render times, editing felt quick and smooth, and scrolling was almost instant for 1080p 60fps videos. Using the laptop to do anything normal is extremely fast as expected, and doing things such as photo editing on Photoshop was extremely smooth even while working with high resolution images. Now, let's get into what is the most important part of a gaming laptop, which is how it actually performs in game, and here are the results. First off, in Cyberpunk 2077, at ultra settings at 1080p with DLSS set to performance, you get a very smooth experience with high FPS, and even while recording, it doesn't drop below 75 to 90 FPS, which is extremely nice to see on Cyberpunk, which is still not the most optimized game out right now. Secondly, in Fortnite at competitive settings, with DLSS turned on to performance, we get around 170 to 220 FPS, while in a normal public match, and that is really smooth, and in creative, it can easily stay above 300 FPS. If you lower the settings on the game even more and put it to performance mode, I think this game should run at 300 plus FPS in in-game situations as well. Lastly, on Valorant, it was quite obvious that it will run really well, and at high settings at 1080p, you get 250 plus FPS at all times, reaching 300 plus quite often in that too. So if you play Valorant or want to stream Valorant, this laptop is more than enough for that. So in conclusion, performance is extremely good as expected, and it performs like our sub $3,000 laptop should perform, and that is the best of the best. Like you saw, while gaming and editing, the laptop doesn't even break a sweat, and other than gaming, the laptop is also designed for streaming, and it can stream at 1080p at 60 FPS with ease. FPS drop while streaming is around 10 to 15 FPS, which is nothing as the actual FPS in game are very high. Overall, the performance and specs on this are really impressive to say the least, and this is by far the most powerful laptop I've tested on this channel. So that is all for the video guys, thank you so much for watching, and again, I'd like to thank Intel and ASUS for sponsoring this video and providing me with the laptop, because without them, this video wouldn't have been possible. Also, a huge thank you like always to you guys as well for viewing and subscribing. So if you guys liked this video, I'd highly appreciate you guys to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.